Hosted in conjunction with Chris Media, the CEO interview series allows investors to hear directly from the CEOs leading the companies featured on Wholesale Investor. Enjoy the interview and reach out via the details in the description.
Hi and welcome to another Crisp TV Q&A. Today I'm joined by Tim Demetriou, CEO of PencilPay. Thank you for joining me today, Tim.
Thanks for having me.
Tim, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. And I guess for those who haven't heard of you before, particularly our audience, do you mind giving us a high-level overview of PencilPay to start with?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So we're a B2B SaaS platform. And what we do is we change the way that a wholesale supplier manages their customers that buy on account via trade credit or payment terms. So, 7, 14, 30 days. So when you think about the last time that you went and got a personal loan, for example, the bank would have done a few things. They would have verified your ID. They would have undertaken a risk assessment. They would have got you to sign a contract and at a personal guarantee. And then they would have got your bank details to debit the repayments from. But if you look at B2B trade credit, the applications are paper-based about 90% of the time. That makes it really difficult to verify information, and they don't check IDs. And then customers often weasel their way out of signing guarantees and providing an ongoing billing method. So you've got tens and thousands of, small and medium wholesale suppliers that in Australia alone, they're offering about $1 trillion in trade credit and with zero expertise in running a credit business.
Understood. So it's obviously a distinct problem that you've identified with, businesses in the past, and you've obviously monitored these B2B relationships before. Can you tell us about the time you identified this in the market and what sort of curated that motivation to start PencilPay, the specific problem?
Yeah, of course. So my background, I had a business for quite a while, for about 7 years, which was in education and recruitment. And we really got that business to a point where we were automating a lot of things. And then in 2018, I went and took over a cafe restaurant kind of venue. And when I took it over, I had about 22 wholesale suppliers that I purchased goods from. So anything from your coffee to your meat to your poultry and dry goods, all the rest of the stuff that you would need in a hospitality venue. And when I went and spoke to all these wholesale suppliers, they all sent me out paper-based credit applications which were 8 or so pages each, and they all had the exact same information on them. So and then it took me probably about a month to get them all signed up. And for a lot of them, I only filled out half of the forms, yet they still gave me trading terms, 14, 30 days type of thing. So for me, that was a significant problem that I saw, more so for the suppliers, but from an administrative standpoint, certainly for for me as the venue owner.
Absolutely. See, it sounds like a very in-your-face problem that you saw, and it's from a real-life experience. So you see that there's a standardized approach to these sign-ups and forms. So I assume you took that, and that's where the innovation occurred. So talk to us about the solution you came up with once you identified this, uniformity across these forms and a better way of doing things.
Yeah, for sure. So what we did was we originally went and we had a look at the structure of all of these onboarding forms that the wholesalers were using, and the structure was, it was around about the same. So what we did was we built the platform initially to allow for a wholesale supplier to configure their credit application forms how they want. So they can have whatever trading term they want with whatever credit limit they want, and add to that things like if they want a payment method. So we've got inbuilt billing modules into the credit application forms to allow for auto billing, because the way we see it is every other loan provider collects a bank account to debit repayments from. So why shouldn't a trade credit provider? And then other things like if you want a personal guarantee or delivery addresses or all that type of information, they can just pick and choose from a cart, and then they can add them to the forms. Customer goes on, clicks on a link or goes to the supplier's website where we have an iframe that sits on there, and then they enter their ABN, hit search, and then we've got an ASIC integration, pulls all the data out and pre-populates the forms to an extent. And then the customer just completes the rest of it after they've chosen a trading term.
Excellent. And I guess so this is a great origin story, and it's obviously been very well thought out, quite deep in your thought and your process there. So tell us, how has the market reacted? Let's talk about, now that we've talked about how you began, what have you achieved and where are you right now as a business?
Sure. So we completed an accelerator in 2019, and one of the great things about that is it made us go full time in our in our efforts. And because Greg's my business partner, and he comes from a software background, and I'm from a sales and marketing background, and we got together and went through this accelerator, and that got us full time on the problem. And then we launched launched in the Xero App Store in July 2020. And so we've been up and rolling for kind of about 20 or so months. And since we started, we've signed up about 100 wholesale suppliers, and about 3,000 of their customers have signed up via a credit application form with a stored billing method. So we and that's really what drives the business model. And the business model is the supplier pays a subscription, and then the customer obviously pays their monthly or weekly account, and then we debit the repayments. And really so the revenue model is subscriptions plus payments.
Excellent. And I guess it's a great indication of future success based on what you've been able to achieve, right? Especially with these constructive partnerships you formed in the market, which will obviously bear their fruits in due time. So you've established yourself quite well as a business. You've gone through the accelerator program, which means you're running a tight ship in terms of from a commercial standpoint. You got your revenue model intact. Talk to us about why we should trust you guys as a team and how you are going to scale this into the future. A 6 to 12 month outlook, a great parting question for the audience.
Yeah, sure. So I'll start with the team. So you've got Greg Armstrong, who's my business partner, who looks after the product, and him and his development team built the product. Greg comes from a long background of software development. He has had an outsourcing software development company for last 13 years, and basically he built platforms for Holden, Bunnings, built some security stuff for Westpac. So he's built platforms that can and needed to scale with a high level of security and compliance, integrated into it. And that's what we need to be a credit and payments business. Obviously, that's pretty important. So Greg's background is undeniable. My background, in 2010, I started a business, had that for 7 years, and we built that to over 100 million in revenue within 4 years. So in terms of scaling a business and being able to grow fast and sell a lot and market well, I've certainly proven that as well. So
Absolutely. And I guess at the second half of that question, Tim, because now you've positioned the team very well here, what's the 6 to 12 month outlook? Where are we going to see PencilPay go? What are some key milestones that we can anticipate watching from the sideline?
Sure. So what we've done is we've gone and built some further integrations. So the two most recent integrations to add to Xero, QuickBooks, Dear Systems Unleashed, Equifax, and MYOB and MYOB Advanced is the two most recent ones we've built is NetSuite, which opens up a massive amount of wholesale suppliers for us, as well as we've built an international payments integration, which basically what that does for us is allows us to be able to grow in the US. One of the important pieces of our business is that it's scalable in different markets. I mean, we've already got 5 or 6 US based wholesalers that are waiting for us to get over there, and we launched the product in the US in May. So the next 6 to 12 months is scale Australia and continue to do that. Then distribute these integrations with NetSuite users and be able to distribute the payments integration in the US with our customers we've already recruited, as well as all the different partners that refer the customers for us.
Excellent. Well, look, a lot to anticipate, and congratulations on your success to date. And for those who are interested in reaching out to PencilPay or Tim, we will have their details to the Chris Deal Room on the side of the screen. Again, thank you for joining me, Tim, and good luck.
Thanks so much, Sydney. Appreciate it.